Good morning. Oh, boy. Good morning. I'll give it some time. Hello, and how are you? Today is Wednesday. This morning, 10:09. I just finished eating a little bit of breakfast. I hope everyone is having a great start to their day. Dang. I went live yesterday in the evening, and then someone came in the comments and told me that my phone was mute, that they couldn't hear me. I don't know why that happened. I was a little bit, sad because I thought I was on a roll. But today is Wednesday. This morning for the early risers, well, I guess early risers mean like well 5 a.m., 6 a.m. But I'm not going live that early. I'm here for Wednesday morning chat. If anyone want to just come by and join and bring up any certain topic, then so be it. But yeah, I guess I was talk. Well, I'm going to talk about the males at night because that's when they can't sleep. They need more attention, and talk about male podcasters. So I'll leave the morning show for a little bit lighter topics, and I'll discuss the male podcasters and male behavior at night in the evening time afterwards. Because we all know men have a hard time of sleeping, and they are, they battle and deal with their demons, so to speak. But yeah, this portion of the podcast is a little bit more open and inviting. I was looking online, watching some stuff. Clarissa Shields. I don't think I spoke about her. But today's a great day to speak about her because her name is like I don't understand. I'm just going to jump right into it. I don't understand why people. Well, I understand that people have hate in their heart, but why? You know, it is obvious that people have hate in their heart, but when they like exhibit that hate and display that hate and make other people feel low and shit, that's a whole another thing to talk about. Clarissa Shields is not even 30 years old yet, and it's like she got the whole world, not the whole world, I'm exaggerating, but too many women, too many people just be coming after her for no apparent reason. Like the shit that y'all say to Clarissa Shields, the way that people speak about her. I'm not saying that anyone is not entitled to their opinion, because everyone has an opinion and they are, I guess, entitled to it and share their opinion. But like when it comes to her, why the hell everyone is just so on her? I don't see her doing anything for someone to go after her the way they go after her, and she's pretty like taken aback by that shit. Like I'm pretty surprised. She's shocked, not shocked, but I'm pretty sure she's surprised about how many people go after her, especially her looks and the way and who she's dealing with. Like I'm not a fan of Papoose at all. I mean, I'm not even sexually attracted to him. I just don't find anything appealing about him. But women that probably would marry him or probably uh, would have a baby with him, or women that have had a baby with him, or like Remy, she married him, they had a baby together. Now Clarissa Shields is with him. They see what they see in him. I'm not gonna sit here and try to like demoralize his character. It's just like I'm not attracted to him. I don't have to be. But Clarissa Shields is, and I think she is madly in love with him. I don't think he's like madly in love with her. Men don't fall madly in love. He's not. Men are incapable of falling in love with a woman. Don't let men lie and tell you that they are madly in love with you, because that will be a contradiction to their principle. But I don't think. Well, it's my opinion that I don't think that. Papoose is in love with Clarissa Shields. Of course, she's in love with him. If this is her first real boyfriend, an older man, a decent guy, someone is known, someone that has his name out there, and he treats her right and he make her feel good, uh, uh, you know, make her feel like a woman. Of course, she's going to fall in love with him naturally, and that's okay. That's good. But Papoose have a major responsibility when it comes to Clarissa Shields, and make sure that he does not hurt her in any way, shape, or form. Right? Even if they don't um, last long, which I feel like he need to marry her, and this should be the all end all be all. Right? It will be the right thing to do if. Papoose marry Clarissa Shields. That's the right thing to do, Papoose. You have to marry Clarissa Shields within the next 2 to 4 years, right? Uh, she's not even 30 yet, so say she turned 30. What? Oh wait, she's a Pisces, so her birthday should be in the February, March. I'm not saying marry her now because that would be too soon, too quick, and he's not even divorced yet. But if he's not going to marry her, he doesn't need to be with her. He needs to be with her in a way where he assure her that yeah, this is it's no going back. He definitely needs to marry Clarissa Shields, and they need to be together forever, right? It's just my opinion that of Papoose as a responsible man. Clarissa Shields have never been married before. She don't have a baby. She has no children, and she is madly in love with Papoose. He is an older guy, so he do have some type of hold over her and influence, and it's okay that he does. Okay, but and then y'all make it seem like okay because he's married, he's not divorced from Remy Ma. He can't move on. Granted, he cannot marry Clarissa Shields legally. That does not mean that he cannot get into a relationship with someone else. And then the women that are full of hate and anger and resentment and bitter and shit come after her, and they first thing like, oh, she's dealing with a married man. Every little thing she do, every little move she make, someone is on her ass. I don't watch her like that, but I do see clips of her around and circulating. Hey, good morning, hi, how you doing? I do see clips of her circulating around the internet, and of course, you know, she's a major star, not a major star, but she's a boxer. She has a career. She's a professional. She looked to Pap to lick her wounds when she's going through it. He takes up for her and he defends her. Like a lot of people were saying, like, oh, he don't even call her. And this is how I know women don't. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna get dive right into it. Black love is so fucking a toxic. I'll put it in that way because I don't like the word toxic. Like that shit is used like irresponsibly. Uh, but a lot of women he has referred to, and this is how I know that he cares about her and he loves her. I don't think he's madly in love with her. I don't think he's fully in love with her. I think he do love her and care about her, and that they do have some type of, well, they do have a friendship because he do refer to her as his best friend. Just to let people know. And that's where a lot of women fall short is because they don't know certain things, or they fail to realize that like when men say certain stuff, that's his way of protecting Clarissa, because he protects her a lot. He'd stand up for her a lot, and he takes up for her a lot. He comes to the forefront when necessary and when needed. And a lot of women that reject love, and they don't know they reject love in the littlest way, like him calling Clarissa Shields his best friend. I think that's the sweetest compliment a man could do um, with a woman. If I meet a guy, we get to know each other and we build in and we, into one another, and then we build in a foundation. Of course, right? Of course, this man has to become, and you and this man have to become best friends before you even attempt to make a relationship a commitment, or before you even attempt to make a relationship serious. You should be best friends, right? Why it just sounds tacky for him to say like, "Oh, my girl, my lady." Okay, we know that's your girl, we know that's your lady, but the fact that he used the term best friend, I think it really says something about their relationship, right? And then you have women that don't know about being a friend with a man or don't know how to build a foundation. Um, Surrounded around a friendship, they say, oh well, he called her his best friend, he don't even like her. Like, y'all have to stop saying that dumb shit. Like, anytime somebody don't do something that y'all don't like as a woman and as a man, the first thing y'all, the stupidest shit that y'all can say is like, oh, he don't like you, he don't like you. Like, shut up. That should be irritating me every time I hear a woman saying it with any man or any situation, like, oh, he don't like her, oh, he hates her. Like, shut the fuck up. You sound stupid. Like, how you know if someone like you or not? Like, no, you don't like her. That's the problem, right? Men don't like women. How about that? If he don't like Clarissa Shields, then men don't like women at all, right? Why would he be around someone that he don't like and have sex with someone he don't like? That's stupid to me. He's not that much of a creep, Papoose. He has a little bit ounce of decency inside of him, right? So when women say shit like towards Clarissa Shields, about Clarissa Shields, oh, Pap don't like her, he's not in love with her, he want to go back to Remy, he still love Remy. I already know that you women are not the type of women I would want to be friends with. You know what I mean? I would not want to be friends with women that think like that. That think, oh, a man is with a woman. Well, maybe he could be using her, but it's hard for me to tell. You know, he's there as a manager, which could be a problem. And he, of course, has predatory behavior because Clarissa Shields is 30. I thought Papoose was like around my age, 45, 40s, and early 40s, but he's damn near about to be 50 years old. So he has a major responsibility when it comes to Clarissa Shields, providing that he take care of her in all ways possible. And another thing which our women fail to realize is the same way that Clarissa Shields is with Papoose is the same way y'all was with your man. Right? So don't sit here and act like you didn't make sacrifices for your man. Don't sit here and act like that you didn't submit to your man. As Clarissa said that, I saw a video of her saying that she said, I may be a fighter, I may be this, I may be that, but I am submissive to my man. And she's exactly showing you what a submissive woman look like. And y'all can't handle that shit because you can't be that submissive or you don't have that skill to be submissive to your man. She is a submissive woman. She admitted that she is a submissive woman, that she loves Papoose. And Pat, he don't got to come out and say how much he love her. What man that come out and scream on a mountaintop, "Oh, I love my wife, I love my wife, I love my wife," when trying to make up for something that he may have did that hurt a woman, right? I just don't understand like the anger towards Clarissa Shields for her love for Papoose. And it's okay that she loves him the way she loves him. That's okay. As long as Papoose keep things going the way they are going, of course he's going to eventually marry Remy Ma. I mean, excuse me, divorce Remy Ma. There's no ways around that. Okay, he don't want Remy Ma. He don't want to go back to Remy Ma. He's not in love with Remy Ma. I don't think he was ever in love with Remy Ma at all. I don't think men fall in love like people, like women hope, right? There are men that do have love and fall in love with women, but I don't think men fall in love like deeply as a woman would fall in love with a man, and it shows. I don't think men have the capacity or ability to fall in love with a woman. I just don't think so. I don't expect that out of them, right? It's just like a fantasy that we as women live in a fairy tale that we as women live in, thinking, hoping, longing, craving, desiring for a man to fall deeply and madly in love with us, right? So your idea, some women idea of falling in love or is obsession, and that's not healthy for anyone. Being obsessed with a person, that's not love. That's just like out of reality. Like a lot of women, they get in relationships, they don't build the foundation. You let men persuade you. We all have. I have. Well, not in that sense because I like to take pride that I haven't had a lot of relationships. I mean, I've been with men, I guess relationships, but I never claimed them as like real serious relationships. But a lot of women get in a relationship in the hopes of a man returning the same feelings that they have for them. And don't get me wrong, yes, there are men that show their care and concern, show their love and support towards a woman. There is there is a great chance that a man can fall madly in love with a woman and stay there, right? But what are those chances? That chances that's like odd and rare for a man to have those type of connections with a woman. And but women like Clarissa Shields, she's probably really is experiencing being in love with Papoose, and a lot of women have experienced that, and they probably misconstrued it with infatuation or anything else but love. Love is a good feeling, but when I hear women, get on Clarissa Shields because Papoose refer to Clarissa Shields as his best friend, they don't see it as a man protecting his woman. They don't see it as a man showing support for his woman. They don't see it as a man standing beside his woman because he referred to her as his best friend, which is a good thing. I think that's sweet. If I meet a guy today or tomorrow, I would rather build a friendship. We become best friends before we even think about making a major commitment. Maybe I don't think Papoose or Clarissa Shields is moving too fast, but I do hope Papoose do marry her. Right? It's only right. Like he he need to marry her when he fully get divorced from Remy Ma. He can't marry her now, of course not, because him and Remy Ma are still married. I don't think Papoose will ever go back to Remy Ma. I don't think Remy Ma will ever go back to Papoose. I don't think Papoose was ever in love with uh, Remy Ma. I didn't even see the chemistry or connection with Papoose and Remy Ma. I never saw the connection at all. But I do know that Papoose looked like an older man with a younger woman. A woman like Clarissa Shields uh, is a mirror to a lot of other women. So a lot of other women are hypocrites when it comes to being in a relationship with a man when they talk about Clarissa Shields, because Clarissa Shields is a submissive woman. Clarissa Shields is a supportive woman. Clarissa Shields is a obedient woman, and a lot of women don't like that. But at the same time, these same women will sit there and say that they love their man, they're in love with their man, they're submissive to their man, they're open to their man, like they down for their man. But Clarissa Shields is showing you like in your face what it looked like on the outside, and you don't like it. Right? The way that Clarissa Shields is with Papoose is the way that the older woman was with their man when they was Clarissa Shields' age. And Clarissa Shields just make it look so good. A lot of women don't have that inside of them to be open and vulnerable and loving and caring and kind and submissive. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but a lot of women don't have that inside of them to be that way as Clarissa Shields is and not care. She don't care that she's a submissive woman. She admitted it. So a lot of women, older women, should at least take that and draw from that. Oh yeah, you know why she's so the way she is, serve him his plate, fix his food, talk about him often because she is a submissive woman. This is what a submissive woman look like. Now, if I was a submissive woman, I would be too. It depends. And I'm not talking about in a biblical sense. I'm not talking about in the sense of expectations. I'm talking about in the sense of like, if I was a submissive woman, I would rather be a submissive woman like Clarissa Shields. I'm sorry. I would rather be a submissive woman like Clarissa Shields than any other woman. Not Cardi B. Cardi B is a whole different submissive woman. Cardi B is a sloppy, um, like she don't think twice before she make a decision. Submissive woman. Cardi B is a submissive woman also, but you can see the difference between Cardi B and you can see the difference between Clarissa Shields. They both are around the same age. They both have a name for themselves. They both have money. They both have fame. The difference is uh, Clarissa Shields is like she know that she cannot always please a man. Clarissa Shields don't have to try hard at all. She's not trying hard. That's just who she is, and she take joy and pleasure in being submissive to Papoose. Maybe not any other man. I don't think she would be submissive to any other man if they didn't have the swag that she sees in Papoose, or the confidence that she sees in Papoose, or the safetyness that she sees in Papoose. I don't think she would be submissive to just any man for the sake of being submissive. No. But Cardi B, she think what she is doing is like, you know, normal, right? She was in married to Offset, and even before her and Offset got married, there were like red flags there. Offset had like 100 kids. She decided to marry him because she wanted to be in the forefront. She wanted to be known. She wanted to be the chosen. She wanted to be the first one. She wanted to be acknowledged and recognized. Like she wanted to always. She Cardi B wanted to look like, or she wanted to appear as, she is superior over any man she deal with, ex-girlfriends or previous wives or whatever, right? So Cardi B had a baby with Offset. He got 100 kids before her, different baby mothers. And I say different baby mothers because that's just the lingo. I hate that term, baby mother. I don't hate it, but I don't use it to degrade women at all. His children's mother, I use baby mother because Zachary father sometimes like, yo, you my baby mother. I don't correct him because I know he don't mean anything by it. He don't know what he's talking about. Most men don't know what they talking about when they call a woman a baby mother. They just say that shit because they trying to, like, you know, uh, talk down on a woman. But Cardi B, no, she's a little bit dumber than Clarissa Shields, providing the fact that she had a baby, 3 kids with her husband, that she knew he would marry her, that she made him marry her. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was not going to be with Offset if he did not marry her because she don't want to look like a baby mama. But it doesn't matter if you married to him or not. Maybe because Cardi B is and have more money, yeah, it makes a little bit more sense that they did get married, okay. But providing that he had 100 kids before her, and then she gave him 100 more kids, and I'm just joking with the 100 kids, but they didn't work out, right? She found someone really quick and fast that she fell in love with. The guy that she fell in love quick and fast, he had like 1,000 kids already, or he was having 1,000 kids while they were dating Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. Ugh, that's just ridiculous. She want to be the number one. She want to be the main. She want to be the primary. She want to be the superior chick, right? And all of that, what she want to be, it comes back to haunt her, and it comes back to hurt her in many ways. And Cardi B is likable, right? She was likable ever since Love and Hip Hop. I don't dislike her. I'm not a fan of hers. Like, to the fact where, oh my goodness, I'm going hard for Cardi B. If I had to choose between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, like in the past, I will always definitely choose Nicki Minaj. Right, so now Cardi B is a submissive woman. She's a different type of submissive woman. She's like sloppy and um, weaker. She's weaker than Clarissa Shields when it comes to being a submissive woman. And then I think she's a little bit impulsive with her choices when it comes to being a submissive woman or just being a girlfriend in general. Because look at the circumstance surrounding Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. He has 100 kids on the way. She had 100 kids while she was pregnant, and she still chose to stay around, stick around. Recently, he had some allegations brought up against him. I'm pretty sure she knew that he was a creep while she got to know him. And a lot of women, we fail as women when we don't look or ignore the red flags in a situation. Like, you could meet a guy, he could have red flags, but not enough red flags. People are like, oh, you know what? I could look past that. But I'm talking about the major red flags, the warning signs. Like let me name a minor red flag that I can probably look past. Um, some women may think playing the game is a red flag, right? Okay. That's something I probably can overlook. Probably depends on the man, right? But if you meet a guy and he's a man that gambles, that's a major red flag. That's something that you wouldn't even consider or pursue. So we'll say, okay, no, I'm not interested in you. We could be cool. There's no way that I will get into a relationship with a man that gambles. That's a red flag. Or you meet a guy, uh, he seemed cool, down to earth, likable, and y'all just have good times. But he's an alcoholic. That's a red flag that you just can't uh, look past. Or you meet a guy. There's this homeless guy on TikTok begging for women to take him in. Now that's a major red flag right there, right? Or a red flag is like, oh man, like I don't know. It's like all red flags is not something that you have to walk away from. But like, okay, if he's a gamer, okay, I could excuse that as a red flag because most gamers, it's like they don't have any outside activities other than being a gamer. I wouldn't consider that a major red flag, but it can be a red flag for many women, right? But a red flag like Cardi B with Offset and Stephon Diggs is them having like all those children. That's a red flag to me. um, Definitely a red flag to me when it comes to men having that many children, right? We as women, we put ourselves out there. We are more open, vulnerable, and we are more susceptible to men taking advantage of us. So when men meet women like Cardi B, right, that act like she's so tough, that got so much mouth, but behind closed doors she's just so weak and tender, they know and they see an opening. That's how Cardi B move. Um, with Stephon Diggs, she said she felt safe with him. I don't understand where he makes her feel safe. I don't see where the safety is. Papoose is a little bit different. He makes Remy feel safe in a way where she go and share with the world that he takes really good care of her, which he shows that in many cases, right? He may be a little bit predatory or have a hidden agenda to some. I'm not saying he don't, but I don't think he's sloppy and dumb as Stephon Diggs. They are two different men with two different agendas. Stephon Diggs is just ill. He's just he I'm just gonna move on from Stephon Diggs. I'm not here to downplay Cardi B or talk horrible about her because she can easily say about any woman and push back on any woman like, oh, your choices were horrible too. That's true, right? I feel like when women get their own money, they make their own money, they have their own they have more choices and they can make better decisions, right? Granted, Cardi B is a great mother, she take great care of her kids, but at the same time it's like, look who she had children by. I'm not saying that, oh, I had children by the best of the best of the best, but Cardi B, you have an advantage, right? You have the money to make better choices. Men feel like, oh, men will say some stupid shit like choose better. What you mean when you say that shit, choose better? What you mean? What does that even mean, choose better? You know what I mean? Are you better than the man that I chose? No. Because I bet if you could line up 10, 20 girls, and then you hear men say stupid shit like, oh, women, they blame everything on women. When things don't go wrong, it's like choose better. But then it's a contradiction. It's a major contradiction when they say that a man is supposed to lead. That's just dumb. So if I'm choosing you and you are a leader and things don't go right and things fall apart, that means you're supposed to, as the man, you're supposed to take responsibility for things going wrong. Don't blame me for talking about choose better. Men are very deceitful. They are. They're not who they say they are. Like you could just look around you on any, I guess, platform, social platform, and determine if men are deceitful or not. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. This is I'm not into relationships like that. I've been like, I'll share this with my listeners, like, in your 20s and your 30s, mostly your 20s, your early 20s, you probably have or will suffer from um, low self esteem, but you're not suffering from low self esteem to the point where it's like making you depressed or making you sad. You just learning from all of your experiences when suffering from low self esteem. And if you want to get to know a man really well, you that uh, but you have to be a strong minded person to deal with a man at the same time with suffering from low self esteem, but still building your confidence, right? So if you as a woman want to know how men are and how they reveal their true nature, is uh, get to know a man when you have low self-esteem. I know in my 20s and probably teenagers years, um, you can call it low self-esteem, you can call it insecurities, but in those moments, in those experiences, you can always, well, men always seem to reveal who they are. That's how you get to know men in your lowest moments, right? Because men, they really, like, say I had low self esteem and suffered with insecurities as a young woman. So you meet a guy and they think they could prey upon that. But see, the person that I am and always have been, I'm not the person just to let anyone knock me down. I grow stronger. And men don't like that. They want you to be the same person, the same woman, the same girl that they met, and for the reason they started pursuing you is because you had low self-esteem. But see, women like myself that had low self-esteem or suffered from insecure, well, experienced insecurities, like it made me become uh, definitely stronger, build up my confidence, build up my uh, view on just the world, a different outlook. And men that has predatory behavior on women that think that they could take advantage of, you see how they will become, right? Like, for instance, I had one guy that I used to talk to. Um, I mean, okay, so when you have low self esteem and when you suffer from low self esteem and insecurities, you meet around the same guys that have low self esteem and and insecurities. But because he's a man, he's supposed to put on this act that he doesn't have any of these traits, right? So this type of man that I was dating, he wasn't like in my 20s. I mean, I had ups and downs. I dated good guys, I dated bad guys. Like, I knew good guys, I knew bad guys. But this one particular guy, and I'm going to say I was in my late 20s with him. Like, he was so mean. He was so like mean towards me. I don't know if he thought he could be mean towards me because I had low self-esteem or insecurities. But once, men think they could take advantage of you, like one, because yeah, you can take advantage of me probably once or twice, but the third time is not going to be so nice. Like, oh yeah, I could get anything out of her if I ask her for something. But when you turn the tables around and show them, no, you're not that powerful that you can make me feel like shit or try to make me feel like shit. And I hate when women say, I know I never experienced that. Maybe you bitches are not sensitive to men treating you or mistreating you or degrading or demeaning you. This is an actual thing. Like, there are women that are not sensitive or not they don't, well, they can't accept men mistreating them or degrading them or demeaning them, and it's a cultural thing also, right? So men feel like when women have low self-esteem, and I'm just speaking from experience and insecurities, that they could prey upon that, and that the woman is going to stay in that mode. No, every time I dealt with a man and maybe I didn't feel so good about myself or suffered from like insecurity or a bout of low self-esteem, it made me turn into a real like um, narcissist. You know what I mean? I guess that's where narcissism can come from, is from women that suffered from low self-esteem or insecurities and they build up confidence. right? So every time they try to shoot you down as a woman and beat you down as a woman, they only, with me, I built up my confidence. I started reading more. I started looking into other things so I can have a voice to fight back. Right? The only thing is like the only power that a man have over me. Of course, there have been men that made me like cry, not cry like, oh my goodness, I want to take my life, just hurt my feelings, said something that's hurtful, right? Because men do that. I don't care if you're the prettiest woman alive, men will hurt you, your feelings. Like, so when men say, oh, who hurt you? Who hurt you? No, it's not the type of hurt you think it is. Nobody hurt me. I'm still standing. Um, Hurt your feelings, like they'll call you a name or you're ugly, you're fat, shit like that. Like, men get off on shit like that. Men, and then you'll realize that men, they like to see women suffer, right? And these women that they like to see suffer from low self esteem and insecurities. But me, I didn't want to be down and rock bottom. I didn't want to be mistreated. I don't like to be mistreated, right? So some way, somehow, I started building up courage and strength and confidence about myself. Whether you thought I was pretty or not, whether you thought I was fat or not, whether you thought I was ugly or not, I'm not going to let you just get away with that. And you see how mean and hateful men can be when they are thinking that they have power over a woman. And I want women to know the only type of power men have over you and is in strength and dominance and tower over you. Right? Men are much stronger than women physically. But once you start like building up your self-esteem, once you start building up your confidence, once you start to see that this is not appropriate, this is mistreatment, you're not going to stand there and just take that shit. You're not going to be a weak woman. Even though, I had like my times and experienced men that was pieces of shit. At 45 years old, why would I accept that from any man? Why would any woman accept that? Because, like, it means that you haven't grown as a woman that suffered from self-esteem or low self-esteem, excuse me, or insecurities, right? You grow from those experiences. So when men jump out there and say, "Oh, who hurt you?" No, I'm not hurt. I'm spitting facts. Men don't like to be mirrored. Like, men, you are the hurting ones. Yeah, why? And then ask them the question, like, why do men hurt women? Why? They can't answer that. Like, so when the man say, "Oh, who hurt you?" I'm like, why is that? Why do men hurt women? Why? And they're supposed to be the much more dominant, powerful force, but they still find a way to hurt women. Then, yeah, I will turn around and say, men. Yeah, you're right. Men are dangerous. They do hurt women. Be like, to shut the fuck up. Like, but what I want to say is, I want to be like just vulnerable right now. Um, an example, Cardi B, she's probably really do suffer from low self-esteem, and I use her as an example because she's famous. She said that Stefan Diggs made her feel safe, and I feel like that's a lie, and I feel like a lot of women don't know what safety feels like. And I'm gonna say that, like, yeah, I didn't feel safe with too many men I've been with. Like, sex is sex, right? Like, if you're just having sex with someone, it's okay. No love lost. You go your way, he go his way. You still have some type of respect for one another. You're not. It's not a serious relationship. It's nothing serious. You can have sex with a man and that could be it, right? But when you're in a relationship with a man, you having sex with him and it's a little bit more than that. You speaking with him every single day. You seeing him every other day, or you just doing things together as a couple, and once he feel that he got you where he wants you, and then he starts to proceed with his meanness, his hatefulness, and his um, you know lashing out on you. Like, yeah, that's where you grow. That's where you grow as a woman. That's where you grow as a person. That's where you evolve as a woman and as a person, because now you're opening your eyes to his little tactics, right? So when women say, "Oh, you tough," no, it's not that I'm tough. It's just that I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna let nobody walk all over me at all anytime soon. Why would I let anyone walk all over me? Why would you want anyone to walk all over you? You're not. I'm not volunteering for that shit. I'm not. I'm not. subjected myself to someone mistreating me ever again. Ever. I am sensitive, very sensitive, to the point where you would never know that because I'm not going to let you get the best of me, right? But now I don't have a wall up, I don't have a guard up, right? Nobody, and to be honest, I don't think anyone should let their guards down. I just think you should just, if you're a kind person and you're a decent person and you have great characteristics, that's what you should lead with. Um, I'm not going to make room for someone to come into my life at this age and this stage in my life to break my heart. I don't think any woman should, like after 40 years old, should be open to letting a man break their heart unless you've been with that man for like 15, 20 years and y'all separating. But now to meet a guy and at the age of 40, um, and to let him come into your life and just destroy your life, that's not happening, right? I can honestly and proudly say, I'm not bragging. Every man I dealt with, whether he was a piece of shit, men are men are trash. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. They are trash. Not all of them, but the men that are trash, they are trash, right? Like they supposed to be this aesthetic where, oh, he's a man, you're supposed to respect him, you're supposed to honor him, you're supposed to obey him. That's not who I am. And I think men get really confused by women like me and other women like me that may not be the prettiest, the most beautiful, but still have confidence while suffering from low self-esteem, or they get mad and they get offended by you not being so pretty but you so confident, right? If you are a not, and this is the best advice I could give to any woman. If you're not a nice looking woman by anyone's standards, which you are, I don't think women are ugly. I'm sorry. I had to learn that growing up in recent years, over the last 10, 15 years. Like, my first thing when I look at a woman, even if she's not like the prettiest, because I'm not focusing on her look, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think any woman is ugly. And that's the motto I'm going to stand by, right? But if you are told that you are an ugly woman and people call you ugly, what you have to do with that is turn it around on them and have confidence, because you could be ugly with a lot of confidence. That's what men don't understand. That's what confuses them, right? So while men didn't know at the time, they probably knew. I probably was a little bit open. I probably slipped up with showing them that I was like insecure, or had low self-esteem, or because they thought I wasn't pretty enough. But what surprised them and shocked them is how confident and smart I was. You know what I mean? Certain men you just can't fight. Certain men you just can't win that battle. Certain men are just too. Uh, and I'm not talking about physically. I'm just talking about like emotionally and mentally. I mean, I had one guy, like, he was older than me. Damn, how old was I? Cause I didn't. I was in my 20s. He was 30. He was 10 years older than me. He was from Harlem too, and he was known. And oh gosh, I'm sharing a little story with my little look, so I knew him. We got to know each other. He was okay. I was attracted to him and shit. I thought I was in good hands. He knew I was younger. He knew he was taking advantage of me as far as mentally, right? He knew what to do. Because he's like, men like that take advantage of women that has low self-esteem and insecurities. They're weak, right? That's why they want women to be submissive. So they look for women such as myself at the time with low self-esteem and insecurity to be weak and to be submissive. No, I learned from those mistakes. But what I'm about to say about him is, we used to chill. We had good times and great times and everything. Um, One day I invited him to my friend house. She was cooking, and because I don't cook, I don't tell men, I don't front. I never did. This is just me. This is who I am. I don't brag about cooking. I don't take pride in cooking. The last thing I will want to do is cook, but I do know how to cook really good. That's just something that's not on the top of my list to introduce myself as. Oh, I cook and I clean. Fuck that. You have to find out. So I invited him to the house because my homegirl was cooking and she cooked a good meal. She's really a good cook. And mind you, I said he was like, um, So, but damn, how old was I at the time? I think I was like 2021. Yeah, I was 2021, probably 22. He had to be like 31, 32 years old. I'll just call him Harlem guy. He's from Harlem. I hate Harlem, man. I do. They real cocky and arrogant. So he came over, and my homegirl cooked for the family because she cooked like every other day. Shit, she used to cook for me. I was living with her, staying with her. He came over. She fixed his plate. Like I thought it was like cool that my friend would fix him a plate. I didn't have no problem with it. Cause I wasn't going like she was cooking and she's like, I'll fix y'all a plate, y'all sit down. But he didn't know that she cooked for me and him, because she was doing me a favor. You know what the hell he had the nerve to say? He's like, well, you need to, and he said this in front of her. He said this to me in front of her, and I just took it as a learning lesson. He said, you need to learn how to cook just like your friend. And that right there betrayed me. You feel me? I felt a little bit betrayed by his uh, insult in front of my friend. She didn't take it personally. She just looked at him and she looked at me and she said, don't even worry about that. I got you. But he didn't know that she was willing to cook for me and him, and of course the family. But he said it so loud, and he didn't have a problem with he didn't have a problem with hiding how he felt. Like that, it goes to show you how men try to pit women against one another in that moment. Um, and I was quiet for a moment, and then I didn't, I wasn't embarrassed. I just learned from that lesson. Like, listen, a man like this, what else would is he capable of doing? Like at his young age, 30, and he had a lot of more experience. He from Harlem, he got like money. He was very cheap too. He's a Pisces. Like I really liked him too. Like we had good times together. We had fun together. But now that I think about it, he probably was using me. Men use me. You know what I mean? They can't use me now. They probably could use me when I was in my 20s, early 30s. But after 25 years old, I was like, hell no, I'm becoming a real bitch. You know what I mean? Like generous is generous. Like, but to use me, nah, you're not using me. Fuck that. But my point is like men will like do hateful, mean things and thinking that, oh, like just good, thank goodness she wasn't that type of friend to go along with like, you gotta learn. No, she didn't do none of that shit. She just said, I prepare, I cook all the time, and she said, and she did say, Sheila do know how to cook. Don't let her fucking fool you. But yeah, so I really liked him. Um, I seen him on and off. I'm not gonna lie. Over the course, like we had a, oh gosh, he was such a hoe. I mean, he just slept with. He had so many girls. But that wasn't the. I liked him. Like we had good times together. But the last time I spoke to him, that was like when I was in, was I in my 30s, my late 20s, and we was speaking on the phone because I was joking with him a lot. Oh no, because he has this habit. He had this habit. The guy from Harlem, like he see a girl and he start talking to her. He started like just starting a conversation. I guess he thought I probably was the one to like exaggerate or flip on him, and I didn't. But he did this in my area one time. We was standing outside, and the crazy part is like he's turned around and he said to this girl, "Oh, didn't I just see you parking?" And she's politely answered his question. The crazy part is he didn't even know we lived on the same floor. So I just said hi to her. She said hi to me. Like a lot of men think they could turn women against each other, which they can't. The last time I spoke to him, we were speaking. The same guy that I know over 10, 15 years. We was talking, having a conversation, and usually he tell me, "Oh, you joke too much," or "this is that." Always had a reason to put me down and shit. So I had to come out of my clown mode and not joke with him at this particular moment. Because you usually, guys, they give you an opening to chop them up and tear them apart. And I mean that, women. Like if you find an opening with a guy, if you find an opening with any man that think he could take advantage of you, and that's where I say that you have to get to know these men. So we talking on the phone, and he started to like put me down, talking like, you always joking, you always laughing, you always this, and I was like, okay. So I had to pull it back some and gain. and put my focus and attention on him. So I started talking to him like, a mature adult. What he wanted, that's what he wanted. Um, he said to me, if I asked you to marry me, would you marry me? And I was like, no, I would never marry you. I don't want to get married to anyone. And I had to like politely put it in a way where I'm not like rejecting him. But we had a conversation. At the end of the conversation, he's like, "Oh, you know what? You laugh and joke a lot. This is the first time that I ever heard you be serious about anything. Where's all this coming from?" And I wasn't even being mean. I was just having a decent conversation with him. Cause you know how men they feel like they could treat you how you act. Like, oh, she's silly, she's goofy, so I'm gonna treat her like she's silly and she's goofy. Because most of the time when women are silly and goofy, that means the guy is being silly and goofy, right? So at this particular moment, I guess I had to draw it back to let him, because I don't usually let people see a part of me that they don't experience. And then another thing for women, because I really do stand 10 toes down for women when it's necessary. Um, we as women, we it's okay to be silly, it's okay to be goofy. You don't have to be serious all the time. Those women that are serious all the time, they are very like not inviting, right? So I guess to him I was being more goofy and silly than serious. But when it called for me being serious, you have a serious conversation because he brought up something serious. So now you have my attention. Okay? You only get my attention when it's necessary. Like if you being silly and goofy and we joking around, we having fun, we having a great time, I'm going to join in and play along with you. Right? Even though me and him we had great physical relations, that's the one thing I could say. We had great physical relations. That's probably I'm not one of those women like, oh my goodness, his this. No, 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 no. But in the midst of this conversation, when we was talking, and I was, mind you, I told you he was 10 years older than me, so I had to be like 27 at the time, 28 at the time. Yeah, because I had left and went away, not to jail. Um, and he was calling himself wanted to have a conversation with me because I guess deep down inside he knew that I really liked him and cared for him, and I was there for him and whatever. And when I say there for him, but like supportive or whatever, or showed him that I really liked him and cared for him, because I could do that. Men, women, we have that power to do that. Women just don't use that to their advantage. What you need to do, you are more powerful than you think you are, and that's the truth. So when we talking, he's like, I really like you. You cool and everything. And um, if I ask you to marry me, will you marry me? I'm like, no. I said it just like that. No, I don't want to get married to you. He said, and then I had to let him know. I was like, listen, we cool and everything. I love and care about you, but you were very mean to me. You don't make me feel good as I want to feel good at the time I need to feel good. I mean, you have it inside of you, but for me to marry you, I would want to. I wouldn't want to suffer with anyone. This is me at 28. I wouldn't want to like be married to someone that I'm not in love with. We had a conversation. At the end of the conversation, he's like, "Oh, so where's all this coming from? Now you want to be serious? I never heard you be serious before. Where's all this coming from?" I'm like, "You know why? Because you never tried to take the opportunity to get to know me. You never took the chance to get to know me, right? Men don't do that. They see one thing and they want you, and that's where we as women have to be paid close attention to men and their words, right? If you meet a guy and you're cool and silly and goofy, that's okay, right? If he don't see your serious moments or your intelligent moments or your mature moments, that's on him because it's there, it's shown, right? There's no way that we can joke and fool around and joke around and not be serious 100% of the time. And that's where a lot of people get it confused with a lot of people like myself. Like, the fun person, the loving person, the quirky, the weird, whatever person. But when it's time for us to be serious, people get scared. And that's okay. That's a power that you have. That's very powerful, is when people think you are something that you are not. And in that moment, I knew that he uh, never really paid attention to me when I was focused on him, right? We was having a good time. But when he said to me, "Oh, I never seen you this serious before, and I never heard you this serious before," that's a lie. If a woman tell you how she feel about you, you think she's laughing about this shit? I have told him I like him and I care about him, you know, many of times. Not all the time, but like here and there. So I guess he didn't listen to me. But this particular day, he was listening to me, and I gave him his answer. He didn't ask me to marry him. He just said, "If I asked you to marry me, would you?" I said, "No. I'm not gonna like. I'm not that stupid. I wouldn't be that stupid to marry someone that really I don't want to marry, right? And I wouldn't be that stupid for someone to marry someone that I know that I probably be regretted in the past. But yeah, I think, and after that conversation, we talked for a little while. Um, he called me like a year later, not a year later, but close to a year later, and my feelings was not even there. It wasn't even like a strong sense of feelings. I really liked him. I really cared about. We had fun together. But like once you show me an ounce of betrayal, 1 ounce, I don't know how I can move on with you. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like it's not that I don't trust anyone. It's just like if you show me that you are capable of betraying me, which is not always looked at as a red flag because some things could be overlooked. But yeah, no, I don't have the same feelings for you, and I move on quickly. Even and then it's crazy because when I used to hang out with him in Harlem, that's why when people like I don't like Harlem. I used to hang out in Harlem. I didn't like it. I used to meet guys in Harlem. I don't like Harlem guys. Fuck. We was chilling and he introduced me to his homeboy. I just thought I was the cutest girl ever. His he introduced me to his homeboys. I don't know if he thought I introduced me to his homeboys if I was gonna like try to run sleep with his homeboys, but it was crazy because you know how you think men are the same and shit. They not the same. Sometimes you gotta tell him twice. That's true. Oh shit. Oh, that's true. I never thought about it like that. I'm bringing up old memories. That's a good one. Oh shit. Yeah, you're right about that. So wait, before I end this, so he introduced me to his homeboys, and I'm just thinking I'm the cutest girl ever, right? I don't know if he thought I was the cutest girl. He did tell me I was cute, but he did tell me, um, he's like, yeah, you cute, you nice looking, you mad cute. I was like, thank you. That's all you need to tell me is I'm cute. You don't need to tell me I'm pretty. You don't need to tell me I'm beautiful. You can tell me I'm cute. I'm okay with that. So his friend said to me, I guess he walked off. I don't know if he thought his friend was capable of walking off with me and taking me upstairs. His friend was so sweet and so nice. His friend said to me, and I never forget what his friend said to me, and I never told him what his friend said to me because he walked off. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. He said, listen, and I'm telling you that he was 10 years older than me, so his friend had to be the same age as me. And I was just standing there looking, all innocent and shy and shit. So his friend said to me, listen, don't ever be with no guy that, he didn't say take advantage of you. He said don't ever be with anyone that don't like you like you don't like them. So I took that as a hint. And that's all he said. He was decent about it. He was polite about it. He was mature about it. Um, I don't know if the guy from my friend, I'm just gonna call him Harlem guy. I don't know if that was a setup for him to do. Like I was gonna walk off with his friend because I never told him I was a whore. Maybe he found out later on in life. But when his friend said that, like, listen, don't let nobody take advantage of you. Don't let nobody walk all over you. This is a guy from Harlem. And from that day on, I took that advice from that man with men. But it hasn't always turned out like that. But it was just a sweet moment. And I say sweet because I'm older now. I wouldn't have called it a sweet moment back then. I just would have thought of it like, thank you, right? It was Harlem. Harlem is fucking scary. I'm sorry. Harlem is scary. Harlem is scary when you're a girl from the Bronx, because Harlem, you have to always put on a front and shit. And after that, after the Harlem guy, after he called me one day and I just hung up with him, I think I ran into him. I gave him a hug. Come to find out, he was just a player. I went through his phone before because he went through mine. I said, I seen all these girls you had in your phone. He started flipping on me. Like, why would you flip on me for going through your phone and you go through mine? He wanted me to take pictures with him. He had it in his phone. I'm like, oh gosh, he let me. I don't know. I'll tell you about him in another time. But yeah, that day on, from that day when he asked me if I would marry him and I told him no, that was like I knew that I was building up confidence to just um not to say what I had to say and not be scared to say what I had to say to a man. And when he told me that, that stayed with me. When he said, "Oh, now you being serious? I never seen this side of you. I didn't know you had this side of you, all like calm and cool and laid back." Yeah, I gave him a reason to fall in love with me. He didn't even know. See, women, you have to know your power when it comes to men. You are very powerful. There's no reason. And if you are, and I'm going to end, if you are and do want to be a submissive woman, you have to be a submissive woman with power, right? It's not like because you want to, it's not like you're trying to gain, uh, him being submissive. Like you have to be submissive with power, still be confident, still have your mind of your own, still make your own thoughts and decisions. Don't solely depend on him, don't rely on him. And when this is being submissive, this is me being submissive to let a man know I don't, need you, but I need you in a way that you don't know, and it's in a way that you won't ever be able to, grant me with. And that's the honest truth. I'll leave it like this before I go. There's not a man out there that I have met that can fulfill the need that I have, and that's something that I have accepted for a long, long time. Like what we women long for, like just romance, men don't have that. We women should want a deep connection with a man and a physical attraction, sexually also, and an intellectual um, connection and attraction, which that's hard to find. Um, and if you ever do find it, you are a lucky woman. But I don't look for it anymore because it's not available, and it's okay. But I think I'm gonna come back tonight, and we're gonna change it up because I get so nervous talking about this. Like I'm gonna get better and better and better. I'm here to refocus, but tonight it's gonna be a little bit harsher. We're gonna go back and talk about the male podcasters. We're gonna finish talking about men and their horrible ways. Thank you, men, for letting us know how you think. But anyway, thank you for listening to my insight and my perspective. I'll see y'all later on tonight if you decide to join me tonight on the topic of male podcasters. Thank you. Have a great day.